University of Missouri Healthcare knows you've got better places to be than in a hospital. That's where our world-class technology and highly skilled medical team come in. We get you home sooner. That's important to you and those who wait for you.
Rufus, guess who's home?
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends. This is the last day of June, June 30th, 2011, and our topic today, Boone County Historical Society. Jenifer Flink, good to have you here.
Nice
It's been a
to
long
be on
time
Pepper
since
Friends.
you've been here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, glad to be back.
But today we're talking about an event that you have coming up
Yes.
very soon.
Very soon. June 17th from 2 to 4 p.m.
You mean July 17th.
July 17th. Thank you very much.
Okay.
We just
Unless
gave
we're
the
going
date.
back in time there.
We're going to go back in time. That's why it's so special.
July 17th.
July 17th. Thank you
Okay.
very much. July 17th, we will be celebrating the centennial anniversary of Tracy Montminy. This is her 100th birthday, and so we have an opportunity to do a retrospective exhibit of her work.
Okay,
And
explain who she is.
Tracy Montminy is a remarkable woman. She is, first of all, she is the benefactor of the Montminy Art Gallery, which is probably the largest art gallery in mid-Missouri. And that is a portion of the Walters Boone County Museum at Nifong Park. So we've been very, we are very, very fortunate to be able to show some fabulous exhibits. She endowed this art gallery. She and her husband, Pierre, were both art professors in Columbia for 30 years, spent their entire career here. And so she retired as professor emeritus from the University of Missouri. He was the chair of the art department at Stevens College. So of course their impact on Columbia really is profound in terms of the art community. And there are many, many people who remember her well and remember him well. And he was quite a character, had quite a personality, and they were truly, you could call them soulmates. She was born with the name Elizabeth, but he called her by her last name, Tracy, sort of, hey, Tracy, come on, let's go. And so she kept that name. That became her name, her professional name, Tracy Montminy. And she had a marvelous, marvelous career. But her career began very early. She, as a young girl, wanted to paint. It was a passion for her. She wanted to be an artist. Painting hadn't really come to the forefront. She began to work with watercolors as a young child. But she attended Radcliffe College and then went to spend a year at the New York Art Students League. And that's where her passion for painting really blossomed. And at this point, artists were strongly influenced by the Cubist movement, you know, Picasso, and the Surrealist movement with Salvador Dali. And her style, it was post-impressionistic influences. Her style can probably be best described as expressionist, which is lots and lots of color, very vivid use of color. She uses a lot of neoclassical themes in her work. And then you can see the obvious influence of the Surrealism and the Cubism in some of the works that she does.
You are amazing, listening to you. I am sitting here, I'm spellbound at this information that comes spewing forth.
Spewing forth.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, she is really a remarkable person because she develops this career and was interviewed by, they used to call them the women's sections back in the day, back in the 30s, and she was interviewed by the women's section, and they interviewed the young Miss Tracy, Elizabeth Tracy, and asked her, she had a wonderful career, but had she given any thought to marriage? And she thought for a moment and very thoughtfully replied that yes, she would like marriage and a career to be of equal importance in her life.
Okay, okay, and that was something back in the 30s you did not say.
Absolutely, that was very forward of her. So here, this young, bright 20-year-old young woman makes this statement, and it was very obvious that was what her passion was. So there were a couple of interesting things that happened to her. She was a Guggenheim Fellow. She received a Guggenheim Scholarship. Now, these are awarded every year. They're very, it's a very select group of candidates, and with this scholarship that she received, she was able to travel. And she wanted to do some research into different cultures. She had grown up in Massachusetts. She was an East Coast girl.
So her artwork was inspired by the traveling.
Absolutely.
Also. How many pieces will be on display?
We will probably have, it will be easy for us to hang about 60 of her works. Some of them are very large because after her Guggenheim Fellowship, she received a contract to become a WPA artist, which meant that she painted murals in federal buildings. And there was one that I have to share with you because this is the funniest of all.
She was a WPA artist.
Yes, yes. How remarkable is that?
What year would that have been then?
That would have been in the 40s.
Yeah. So she did WPA, or she was hired just for that.
Yes. She was an artist who worked, she was part of the WPA program. She got a contract from the city of Kennebunkport in Maine. We all know where Kennebunkport is. And she received this contract and did her sketches and her drawings and must have worked in some kind of a vacuum because as the painting began to go up, as the mural began to go up, people began to express reservations. She had gone to Kennebunkport and taken photos and sort of charted what things looked like, and she painted bathers on the beach at Kennebunkport. Well, the city was up in arms over this, and this had to.
How were the bathers clothed?
They were clothed. It was the 30s. There was the 40s, and but nobody wanted to see tummies and legs, and so the city petitioned to have the mural pulled down, and this had to go before Congress. There had to be a congressional. An act of Congress to remove this mural.
Because she was a WPA
artist. Exactly, because
Okay.
she was a federal painter. So anyway, she has also, her history here in Columbia is very storied as well. She has a mural on the wall of the engineering building. Most of the engineers will know that mural. It's very abstract. And we have works that were recently moved from Commerce Bank downtown, 2 large murals that we've moved into the museum.
Okay.
And then in the art gallery, we will have a small exhibit of Pierre's work, and then we will have Tracy's centennial exhibit, and this will be...
and that all starts on...
July 17th. Thank you very much.
July 17th.
Yes, sir.
At the Walters Boone County Historical Museum. And it runs through? It
runs through the end of August.
Okay.
So, and there will be, we are working on some programming that will accompany this. There are, one of the things that we're doing is we're talking to a lot of the artists who are her contemporaries here in Columbia.
And they'll be part of that too.
And they will be part of this.
You know what, Jenifer, we're out of time. You need like an hour program
to
talk about this. We're out of time. But
Thank
thank you so much for coming, and thanks to Libby Gill for calling and getting you on here.
Absolutely. They're a great committee to work with, and
you got some powerful women on that committee, don't you?
We do.
All right. Give their names real quick.
Libby Gill, Sabertal Meyer, Laura Perez Mesa, Kathy Salter, and Jane Flink.
All right.
So
that's it. Our show, that's the power group
powerhouse.
there. Our show directed by Travis McMillan of the Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio, Pat Akers from KBIA. Our floor director, Andrew Orozco. And our assistant producer, guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. To watch this program or listen to it again, kbia.org. Click on Radio Friends. And drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.